all these guys is like shoulders, knees, back, and you guys are helping them with these peptides that are unreal. He talks about like if you can just PR 3 times in a year, if you can just go up that little bit 3 times in a whole year, you're golden. Or 2 times. You don't stop working out and staying healthy because you lose muscle. You stop because you're in pain. Because I have this discussion with people and they ask, it's like, hey, I had an injury, knee, back, whatever it is. And so I want to get back to my PR strength here in the next 12 weeks. And that statement alone, I'm already tuned out.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing, it's like, oh, that's awesome. I didn't know you can just go straight from Cracker Jack getting put together again to your PR in 12 weeks. Huh. Okay.
We're asking for more injuries and further downtime with something like that for sure.
Yeah, there's so many ways that you can come back and you get better. And I wish more people would listen to people talk about PR strength. It's like Ed Cohen, when you listen to him, he talks about like if you can just PR 3 times in a year, if you can just go up that little bit 3 times in a whole year, you're golden.
Yeah.
Or 2 times. Yeah. And I'm like, I wish more people would look at that and go, oh, instead of I need to PR almost every workout.
Right.
7 days a week, I got a PR. And it's like, holy cow, it doesn't work that way.
No, definitely not.
You know, and I tried to explain to people that if you do slow down a little bit, like you're doing, it heals. You're going to be able to come back and surpass.
Right.
But it's just that patience. And again, weightlifting, I believe, is a delayed gratification. And you said it. It's like if you start training at 30, you'll benefit when you're 40. If you start at 40, you'll benefit at 50, and so on and so forth. But you just got to start and be patient in the transitions.
It's key. And like I said, I've already been through this. So in 2011, I had the Bial Hernia surgery. Couldn't work out for 12 weeks at that point. And when I went back, man, you're devastated. You're like, damn, like I've lost all my hard work, all my gains, and then you got to start from basically that's where you think it's zero. But you got to start there. And then, it's the best shape of my life I got into afterwards. So I know I can do it. I mean, I'm a little bit older now, so it might take a little bit longer, but I got the best therapies around. So I might expedite that too as well because I didn't have those back then. So, I'm interested to see how it goes. But, if you want to look at somebody as a prime example in the bodybuilding world, I love him to death, but look at Ronnie Coleman. I mean, guy would have back surgeries and go right back in the gym and do PRs. And then look at him now, right? And he's hurting. He's hurting for sure. So he's a good dude. Heart of a lion, train like a true Titan soldier for sure, I would put it. But could he have let some time in between and rest and relax a little bit and maybe recovered a little bit better? Possibly, and that could have helped him maybe in the long run now. So, when I see him, and I see him down at Metroflex, like, he came for the grand opening in Tampa probably like 3 months ago, and I hung out with him a little bit and talked with him. And it's just, the guy's got so much knowledge. He's been to the ultimate top level of Olympia, at that point, and he's done a lot. But, I think his quality of life has definitely taken a hit with his sacrifice to what he did.
I think, it's a rare breed, that man, because he has, like you said, that's a Titan mentality. He's so reminds me of Christmas. He's always happy. He's always up. He's so appreciative to his life. And he wouldn't change much. And so looking at that, I'm like, I love it. I wish more people would have that spirit, along with the patience of taking your time, and not giving up. I do love the fact of what can we take? We can take that you don't give up. You get back in the gym, you start working slowly, and you get healthy. And then I'd recommend this for anybody that's on here today. If you have something going on, a shoulder, a back, a knee, and you saw a doctor and they're like, well, it's right now, no surgery, go over and follow John and the Titan Medical and ask those deep questions and DM those questions over there because of what they're finding out about peptides and how well peptides help. We got a link up here for you guys. You can just click on that link and you guys can head on over to Titan Medical, send a DM and give them a list, man. I know that Johnny answers a lot of these things himself, but ask those questions. If you got a shoulder, if you got something, and I'll tell you this, a lot of the guys that I've sent over there already, WWE wrestlers, NWA guys, all these guys is like shoulders, knees, back, and you guys are helping them with these peptides that are unreal, and also helping them with HRT as well, making sure that their hormones are correct. They're changing lives, which I absolutely love. But I think, again, you don't stop working out and staying healthy because you lose muscle.
Right.
You stop because you're in pain, the shoulders, the knees, the back. And so let's keep that away as long as we possibly can.
Absolutely.
And make the call, make the question, ask the questions that you guys need to ask. And even if you're seeing a doctor, ask the doctor for referral. Come on down there. Can I ask you a question about that? How does that work? If somebody wants to get, hypothetically, blood work and they live in Tennessee or North Carolina, but they want to work with Titan Medical, do they have to fly to Florida to get their blood work?
No, they don't. So all they have to do is call or text. We can service your blood work anywhere in the country. All you have to do is call or text us. We're going to get some demographics. We'll get the payment for the blood work. We send you over the prepaid lab requisition slip. And all you have to do is take that slip in with your driver's license or state ID. You don't have to give them any further payment. You don't have to show them an insurance card. They're going to draw your blood, and we'll get the results expedited in 3 to 4 business days, so you have them quick.
So just so I understand this, it's similar to then I didn't get special treatment. I and Mona went over. We received the letter from you guys. We went over to a place 5 minutes from my house here in Los Angeles, California, and we did the blood work there.
Yep.
And we left in 5 days. If that later, we got a call from you guys at Titan Medical talking to us about setting up a phone call with a professional to go over the blood work. So that's for everybody?
Yeah, so anybody can do that. So once we get their blood work results back, what happens is the medical assistant will contact you. She'll give you a little brief over your labs and then ask you, do you want to set up a medical consultation with the medical provider? So when you set the medical consultation, it's actually a video consultation that is recorded. So you see the provider sees you, and then they start going over everything. So if you do that and go through with the medical consultation, you'll fill out new patient paperwork, which is about 15 sheets. It's going to go over all your symptoms, your goals, your health history, your family health history. So it'll give all that information to the provider. They'll go over all that information with you, plus your blood work in depth, and then give you personalized suggestions for your regimen and what would work best for you, what you would need out of 1, 2, or 3. And if you want to do anything else goal wise, then they'll go over those things.
Could you tell me just 2 things then real quick? I have a pretty busy schedule. If hypothetically I say I need to do a phone call at this time, can you schedule when you could receive the phone calls?
Sure. So what we do is we have a scheduling department. So when that medical assistant gets you on the phone and goes over your blood work, we'll say, listen, this is what we have open. And then you can pick from any of those times, whether it's 9:30 in the morning a.m. Eastern Standard Time till 6 p.m. Or I think if they do 5, they cut off at 5. It's 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we can work you in any of the mix of those days and times. So you tell us what works best for you, and we'll plug you in for that spot.
I love that. I know that I like to think I'm the busiest guy in the world, but I'm not. But I know people have always a scheduling problem and stuff. And I think it's great that you guys can actually schedule the time that way. No matter what, I mean, I want to hear what the result is. I'll make time for that, and I'll fit that into the schedule to where I can sit down for 30 to 45 minutes or an hour, or whatever that is, to do that, which is perfect. It's kind of like there's no excuse. I don't need to fly there. I can schedule the phone call when I want. One more question. I love the fact that you stated I get to visually see this individual. And the only reason why is because I've had these talks before where I couldn't see the individual. And it sounded like a prepubescent kid that worked at GNC or something. Yeah. And he's talking to me. And I'm like, I kind of want to see who this individual is that I'm talking to.
You should be able to create that patient-doctor or provider relationship. And what constitutes that is them seeing you and you seeing them. It'd be just like an in-person visit. That's how it is. You see them, they see you. And instead of guessing that, I stay away from the phone call thing when I tell people because they think they're going to be like this with somebody. When I say a video conference, that means that we're going to be like this to somebody. So at that point, it's a big difference because there are places out there that they have somebody get on the phone. And how do you know who this is on the phone that you're talking to? So you cannot create, if they put a lineup up in front of you after you talk to that person, you couldn't guess what that person looked like in a lineup. So that's wrong. So that's not how you establish a patient medical provider relationship. And honestly, it's not even legal to do like that. So they're not doing what they should be doing. And they should be doing it like we're doing it. That's how you do it. It keeps recorded. It's recorded as well. So listen, there's discrepancy in there, right? Patient calls me up, or I want to quality check the visit of the provider, which I do often, to make sure that, they're getting the top quality standard of Titan Medical Center, what we should be doing. But if there's discrepancy, we can go back in there and look at it and say, hey, listen, this was an offer. Hey, my provider, why didn't you mention this to the patient? Why didn't you go over this? This is something we need to work on. So it's a tool to help us be better. And it's also there to protect the patient and the provider.
All right. Before I answer this question in time, I would like to know your professional providers. I would love to know the background on what they have to do schooling wise and stuff to be able to do this discussion. But before, or we'll talk at that another time.
Okay.
Someone here says, can anyone go to Titan Medical?
That's correct. Yes. Anybody can go to Titan Medical. As long as we take 21 to 59 years old, 60. If you're over 60 years old, you would have to do a couple more different things as far as testing for us. We do require like an EKG and stuff like that, just to make sure the person's healthy. We don't accept anybody underneath 21 years old, because at that point, I still got 30 or 40-year-old guys that are living with their mom. Their mom's still paying their bill for their HRT and stuff like that. So I don't want I've had moms.
That's the bodybuilding lifestyle. You just named everybody at Gold's Gym Venice. Everybody's, holy cow. Everybody over there. I'm sorry about that, Jeff. They're all laughing over here.
I had my mom call me up and be like, do you have my son on testosterone? I'm like, whoa, first off, I can't even talk to you because you're not on the medical release. So
oh, boy. I love that, man. No, I appreciate you guys again, man, taking time like this. There might be a chance that you and me jump on again, maybe later this week, for any kind of special news that's going down. But I wanted to jump on today, just kind of go over all this. And again, don't need to fly there. You get your blood work. You can schedule your phone calls. Yep. Again, to me, I've had fun this last couple of years of doing the blood work and really seeing how I can enhance my longevity already by understanding more on my own hormones as we age. And in a perfect world, I wish we didn't age, but we do. It does not mean that we got to stay out of the ring. We can still get in the arena and fight and still do this. And by having good blood work, training smart, eating correctly, you're set to still be that gladiator.
Absolutely, 100%. And look better than some of these 20 or 30-year-olds out there. I mean,
Titan lifestyle, right?
You got it. Man, you're 20 or 30 years old, man. And somebody that's 40, 50 years old is beating you out look-wise. That should be your motivation. I better get my ass in there. And don't be saying, oh, it's because he's on steroids. That's the weakest excuse I've seen from somebody out there. Like, all right, yeah, people can take steroids and they can take anabolics. And at that point, they won't grow an inch unless they put in the work and they're doing what they need to do. So, I
think that philosophy is over with and everybody understands. Let's try to keep as healthy as we possibly can. Before you go, I see some great questions here, huh, Jeff? Go for that.
Love you guys. Love the info. Low back, knees, right shoulder, kidney, mass. Praying to keep on track. Love info on injuries. How do you get on a good sleep schedule? I have ADHD and overthink. Thanks.
You see that one, Johnny?
Sure, I do. You want to go at it?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, obviously, you're loving the injury talks. And if you have bad back, knee, shoulder, BBC 157 TV 500 is going to be great. But the main question says, how do I get on a good sleep schedule? Because you have ADHD and you overthink. So when we talk about people in sleeping patterns, usually have two people that are out there, two types. One person can't turn off the wheels at night, right? Just keeps going. The other person wakes up hour on and hour off. So they go to bed fine, but they wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning and they get up and they stay up for 2 hours and they go back to bed and they get back up. So there's a couple different things you can do for this. Now we have some different therapies that you can get. The sleep schedule is like anything else. It's like you have to set it and you have to start trying to do it. So if you start your sleep schedule and you say, listen, I want to go to bed at 9 o'clock every night, you have to start preparing yourself to go to bed at 9 o'clock every night. That means Don't do any electronics an hour beforehand. Don't watch TV. Don't go on your cell phone. Don't do anything that's going to stimulate your mind. Don't do work or anything like that. Don't fight with your girlfriend, wife, whatever it is. That's going to stimulate you. So one, that's the thing. Two, stay away from stimulants. If you're going to go, you can't go to sleep at night and you're taking stimulants 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's probably going to affect your sleep patterns. Once you can get into a good sleep pattern, you start setting those sleep times and it's not working for you, there's a couple different things you can add in. One, we have like Titan Serenity, which has like L-theanine, which is an amino acid that relaxes you. Another one's magnesium. It relaxes you too as well. There's a couple other ones out there. There's another peptide therapy that I can get from one pharmacy. It's called DSIP, which is Delta Sleep Inducing Peptide. It's another peptide. It's great for it. GABA is another one. So there's a couple different things that you could take that could help you get back to get over the overthinking and relaxing the mind and the body. And then at that point, going to sleep and then setting that pattern every day and then doing it every day too as well. That's the biggest thing. They say that sleep patterns can get messed up by somebody that Monday through Friday, they go to bed at a certain time, they wake up at a certain time every Monday through Friday. But on Saturday, they want to go out, they party till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and they don't go to bed, and now their sleep patterns are messed up again, their sleep cycle. So, and not to say you can't go out and have a good time one night and stay up a little bit later, but you have to, think about this stuff, and it has to be cognizant that, listen, if I do this, that this could be messed up my sleep schedule, and I'm going to get back on track. And that's what you have to do. Sunday, you get back on track, and then Monday, hopefully you're back in that sleep cycle. So that's what I've done. And listen, it's harder for me because, especially now, it's like I got to wake Peter up at 5:30 in the morning, make sure he's out, and I'm not going to bed till like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning sometimes. So I'm not getting the sleep that I need in recovery, which will slow down my healing process. So I have to get that too as well. So, that's the best thing I can say about it.